Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing so well. It is Holly Renee, the founder of Home for the Healer, a space where I support you as you support so many. Welcome. Today, we're going to do a channeled message. We're going to talk about the week ahead, what you're going to be focusing on. Remember, this is a general reading, of course, a collective reading. And so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So let's get into this. Before we start, I just wanted to remind you that I do have donation-based online courses down below that are available for you to be able to, level up your gifts, to support you, enhance your already developed gifts. We have energy healing certifications. We have courses on leveling up your channeling. We have some that just help you on your spiritual journey. And I'm also adding 2 more courses, one for even more in depth called Empowered Healing, and one is the Creator, which is all a bunch of courses all about manifesting and things like that. So I would love to have you inside of there. Yes, they are all donation based, there is no strings attached. So let's get into your reading. I already pulled a couple of cards because I was just tapping into the divine. And so we'll get into those in just a sec. But I want you to take a moment and really ask your spiritual team, ask the divine, something that you may need, right? Something that you might want insight on for the week ahead. Of course, there's no guarantees that it's going to get answered here, but you can pay attention to the imagery and see if maybe some signs come through for you or some significant things. But setting this intention kind of helps to be able to bring things forward easier for you, right? And kind of put your energy into this. And also, if you want to like and comment and subscribe, I'd love to have you. It's a great way to kind of have an energy exchange as I'm channeling. It's a way to kind of, help me as I help you. I was connecting in with the divine, and I was getting this week ahead energy is really going to be something about how you're going to start feeling very regenerated. You're going to feel like you are in a space where you truly can breathe. There's going to be some type of ease off your back, some type of just like, it's almost like a resting period that you're in right now. It may not feel like a resting period, but it is. And Spirit's really asking you to allow this to be a space for you to reconvene. I don't even know if that's a word. Maybe it's just convene, but I want to say reconvene. It's almost like come back to yourself and love yourself. Here's the deal. Some of you watching this have gone through some serious relationships, like karmic relationships. And I feel like you have such a loyal heart. And this was something I channeled actually the other day as well. You have such a loyal heart and such a, you have such good intentions. And it's almost like speaking. I don't know if you guys can hear. I don't think you can because my microphone, but the kids are jumping on the trampoline outside the window and they are screaming. So if you hear that, there you go. But some of you have such genuine hearts and you've had such difficulty in relationships with maybe people just not seeing you for your true purity, if that makes sense. And it's kind of like you really do mean well, but sometimes your purity and your like desire to genuinely want to be just a good person is triggering to some people, and this week that's kind of being played out a bit. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of triggers around this. I think that that's something you've already been experiencing in some level or in some way. It doesn't mean that there won't be a trigger at all, but you'll kind of be coming into a deeper knowing and understanding about this and being able to have a little bit more compassion, because right now the energy between you and these people, or you and like how they have treated you in the past, feels a little bit like not the best. It feels like kind of rough. It's kind of like a frustration, and the divine wants to bring it deeper, wants to go deeper, wants to bring it past the surface level so that you can understand things through the divine's eyes and why certain things unfolded the way that they did. And again, they just keep saying, go deeper, go deeper. So they want you to go deeper, and it's going to kind of give you the keys that you need to really be able to take this breath of fresh air. Okay. on a soul level, there's a lot of regeneration taking place. So you're going to start to feel yourself just doing things in your 3D world that maybe you've been working on trying to change for a long time. Now you're realizing, oh my gosh, this is just second nature to me now. So that this week you'll start to notice that. It's like your soul is really starting to just like come online and your human is being activated into that. So a lot of like new things happening this week that don't feel hard. Okay. So that's a plus. It's like in the past, maybe these are the habits and things that you've been working on for a while that maybe have just felt difficult to obtain or to experience. That's no longer going to be the case this week. It's just going to happen. Okay. They're telling you this week, some of you, to lay off as much caffeine because of this regeneration. This might be something that's easier. Okay, some of you are being asked to do that and to really give yourself more water and more nutritional value, if you will. And also, this is going to be something that's just second nature for some of you, where it's just like you're not going to even want to make that fifth cup of coffee or the second even. You're just going to be like, one is enough, and I'm going to, switch to tea or water or whatever. So there's something about that. Maybe that's a habit some of you've been working on. It's very specific for someone. Um, some of you being more present is going to really be helpful this week. It's going to be a lot easier to do. Um, and it's a space to breathe. The spiritual help, development, all of that kind of world really likes to focus and like really hone in on trauma and past things that have happened. And although it's important to know that stuff and how to shift out of it so that you can react to the present moment differently, it's important to know that if you're genuinely in the present moment, you're not really worried or focused on the past or the future, right? You're kind of just dealing with what is. And I think that the spirit is really going to start to show you how looking backwards really is not helping your position at all. In fact, it's actually detrimenting the ability to breathe and the spaciousness that you've created in your life right now. Same with the future. If you're constantly looking in the future, that can feel difficult. So, like, of course, this reading is overall energies you're going to bring in, but spirit's not focusing on like telling you what's going to happen, because that takes the fun out of life. And so, if you're constantly watching pick a card readings or YouTube readings or TikToks or Reels or whatever, trying to figure out what your future holds, or maybe you're using your cards and stuff, Spirit wants to encourage you this week to focus more on the present moment and what you can do now. So maybe if you do feel like doing a reading for yourself or watching a reading, it's around like what you can do now or what advice you need right now, instead of what amazing things are coming into my life in the future. Because the thing is there's already great things coming. There are. The people that I talk to in this collective are people that know how to utilize energy and make the life that they really want. It doesn't mean it's always the easiest, and it doesn't mean that it works as fast as you want, but you know how to do that. And Spirit's like, you don't gotta stop looking for validation from someone else or even from me, meaning Spirit, not me, Holly, but Spirit. You don't have to keep looking for that validation from us, because it's already in your energetic field to know that what you want is on its way, as long as you continue the path. And you have the free will now to choose what happens in your physical present moment. And that is the thing that they're really wanting you to focus on this week. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, I posted a 2-part channel message a couple days ago where I'm talking about how you're being forced into your human. And it's like you've kind of been or desiring to escape up and out of the human for a long time because of trauma and because of things that you've dealt with and because of things that have been difficult. And now Spirit is like, it's safe to be in the body now. You've done enough spiritual work. You've done enough in the higher realms or in these higher perspectives and looking at things from different views and angles. You've done enough of that. It doesn't mean that you aren't going to go back there, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to continue to look at life with different angles and things like that. But right now, this week, in this present moment that you're watching this, whenever this is, it's so important that you're dropping into your human so that you can actually experience the things that really, really are important for you here and now. You don't have to escape the body anymore. For me personally, Holly speaking now, I was in, a space where I was in constant fight or flight from age 6 all the way up until, I mean, really just probably 6 months ago, I've really kind of mastered the art of being just in flow. And so almost, I'm going to be 30, so a really long time of my life I was escaping the physical realm, and being in my head, even being connected deeply with the spiritual realm, was a way for me to avoid what I was actually feeling and experiencing in my human. Because, okay, yeah, I'm experiencing this, but I can just avoid it by going and looking at what's to come. That's not the answer. That's not going to work anymore. And spirit is inviting each and every one of you to move through this new level, this new depth of being in the human and experiencing the present moment, and realizing, oh, holy shit, this is not as bad as when I, came here in the first place. So it's like, those of you that have been in these spaces where you've kind of, I don't want to say avoided, because it's not that you're avoiding your healing, and it's not that you've done this intentionally, and it's not that it's been wrong. In fact, you were supposed to be going through what you were, right? Like, everything happened in divine order. I understood that when I was dropped into the body, that, oh, I was escaping because of XYZ, but while I was there, I was able to heal and understand so much. But here's the deal: we can't live there, because if we live there, we can't ever actually embody the practices and the healings in which we have learned. And so spirit's saying this week you're being dropped into the body so that you can really, really see just how much you've learned. It's kind of like you're going to be able to see just how easy it is to actually live in the human and to experience it and to be in it fully. And it doesn't have to be a scary thing. In fact, it's actually a really liberating thing. Spirit's telling me to show you these cards. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully you can see it and it's focused. I want to point out a couple things that are coming through. Maybe you asked for this as a sign. We have crowns here. We have two keys. So keys may be a sign for some of you. Owls, of course. And then we have a bunch of hearts. And they're sitting on what looks to be like an egg. And that to me feels like almost like a co-creation between you, your higher self, you and the divine, you and your future self, like whatever it is that you've really been working closely with, to create this bliss over the last however many years. For some of you, it's been 30 years. Like it literally has been a really long time. You may not have even been aware that this was happening. Like, in my personal perspective, again, and Holly's journey, I really escaped my physical realm because of the trauma and anxiety that I was experiencing so badly because of what happened as a child. And, you know, I started my awakening though at 21. I started really tapping into my gifts and connecting with the divine more deeply around like 16. And so again, I had this deep relationship with the divine for many, many years, 20 plus 20 years. I mean, my whole life I was connected with the divine, but connecting intentionally for years and years, but I didn't realize that I was actually kind of escaping. But again, I was meant to be there because there was a lot of healing work that took place, and a lot of you are in that space. And now the divine is saying it's safe to come back. It's safe to actually experience the human experience. It's safe to embody what work you have done up until this point. And honestly, some of you have been hoping for some type of big manifestation to come into your life, and this is it. This is the start of it. And the start of it is to be in the body and actually experience it. And so, um, you know, looking forward is always fun at times, right? To be like, ooh, this is exciting. This will be so cool when it comes. But what if you understood that it was already here, and that if you don't drop into your human form, you can't actually experience it? If you're constantly chasing the next best thing, you'll never ever ever be happy with where you are. And I know that you've probably heard that before, and logically that makes sense, but spirit's like, think about it though. If you're chasing, 5,000 months, $5, 5,000 months, or oh my gosh, $5,000 months, or $10,000 a month, or, you know, maybe you're chasing the love of your life, or you're chasing a career move, or more clients, or more this, or more that. You're always going to be chasing that. I was making the most money I ever had, and I was still chasing something more. And spirit's like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to chase something more, because you have worked hard enough to know that the present moment is perfectly enough where it is. However, you wouldn't know that until you allow yourself to be in the present moment for a long period of time. I'm not just saying like, a couple hours a day. I'm not just like, spirit is like, this week, your assignment and your second nature, if you will, is going to be being in present moment. It's like anytime you feel yourself worrying about the future or worrying about the past or thinking about the past, it's not even going to be, it's going to be so uncomfortable in your physical vessel that you won't allow yourself to do it. It's almost just like, it's not that you won't experience that, but you'll catch it so quickly that you'll be like, I don't even want to worry about that because it makes me literally want to crawl out of my skin. That in itself should help you understand that you have been meant to be in this space for a lot longer than maybe have allowed yourself to be. But it's almost like there's a fear of dropping into the present and really experiencing all the work that you've done, because it's like, what if I'm disappointed? What if I um have been expecting something and what comes is not actually what I've been expecting? Spirit is literally saying right now, listen, some of you are going to be like, yeah, that's not for me. Some of you are not going to take this as a truth or whatever. Spirit is saying, hear me now. What is to come is greater than you could have ever imagined. What is to come is going to feel so much more bliss and peace in your present moment than you could have ever thought, imagined, visualized, experienced. However, if you do not get present, because you have free will, so you have a choice, if you do not work on being present and allowing yourself to really be, you're going to feel yourself constantly drifting into why that happened, or why this person, or why that person, or whatever the case is, and you're not going to allow yourself to actually experience the now. You know, yes, your reality right here, right now, as you're listening to this, may not look like what you really, really maybe quote unquote want for your life. However, as I've been talking to the people in the collective, you know that what you feel is what you attract. And some of you think you have this whole manifestation thing down to a T. However, where are your manifestations? And the thing that they want you to understand is the manifestations are waiting for you to get present. The manifestations are waiting for you to get here and now. You've done enough visualizing. You've done enough petitioning. You've done enough praying. You've done enough asking. You've done enough work. Okay? You've done enough. Until you can accept that and just be in the moment and allow your life to feel like a breath of fresh air, to allow yourself to breathe even when life looks a little bit chaotic, because that's life. Welcome to Earth. You can't have an expectation of a perfect reality because it's just not going to ever happen. And you'll always be hoping for something that's not here. However, your reactions to it have changed. But some of you don't even realize it because you aren't present enough. You're still focusing on all the trauma that you've been through. You're still focusing on all the ways that you used to react. You haven't even given your new self a chance to actually react. Okay? So I'm going to pull a couple more cards to finish this off. I think the thing that I want you to understand is, like, anything that has not come to pass for you was not for you. Whether it wasn't for you then or it wasn't for you at all, it just depends. But some of you, are like, it should have happened by now. This is unfair. Or, I've done all the things I'm supposed to do, but where is it? Spirit's like, it was not time. Sometimes the human thinks it needs things that it doesn't need. Okay. For me personally, there were things I was trying to manifest into my life. And if it would have came at any point that I wanted it back then, I would have not been prepared for it. If my life that I'm experiencing right now would have happened to me years ago, months ago, I would have not been able to handle it. I wouldn't have been able to be prepared for it, okay? In many different ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all of it. Look at that, a change in the wind. Things are about to change for you. And you're about to, here's the thing, as we know with manifestation, you have to act as if to attract it into your reality. Some of you, there's things that you desire in your life that you have embodied and you're experiencing it and you're like, this is amazing, I've done so good here, blah blah blah. Some of you, actually all of you, there's things that you have not seen yet in your physical reality, like they're not manifested, but you haven't fully embodied how you would act if it was in the manifestation or if it was in your reality. So this week, Spirit's saying you're going to start embodying those things, because that is the thing that's going to say, okay, I'm ready. You could feel ready, you could say I'm ready, but are you acting like you're ready? This week, you will begin the process of doing that, which will rapidly bring your manifestations in. Okay? Some of you are focusing heavily on like money, or focusing heavily on like something material. Well, it's all material, but something like, it feels like money, or I don't know. There's something like this. Some of you may be like wanting to go like viral or fame or whatever. Stop focusing on that. Spirit's like that. If you feel, and this is not going to be for everyone, if you feel in your bones that that is meant for you, because some of you watching this, it is meant for you. You're meant to have a big platform to speak. Okay. This could be hundreds of thousands, few thousands, millions. It doesn't matter. As long as you're helping and doing the thing, that's amazing, and being compensated energetically. So if this resonates in your heart and you're like, yeah, I want to be that, that's me. You have to stop focusing on that, and instead focus on being still, and focus on how would you show up to life with, if that was already here, because that's the only thing that's left. Truly, that's the only thing that's left, and you're starting to see manifestations of it. I know you are, and I'm talking to a select few of you. And honestly, those of you that are like, yeah, this is me, but I would never like say it out loud, that is who I'm talking to. Okay, I'm not saying like those of you that are like, I'm going to be famous, are like not going to be. But what I'm trying to say is, people who are meant to be in that space aren't running around like talking about it like that, because if you are, this is just the harsh truth, you're not ready for it. Because if you were to get it, it would just get to your head. So like those of you that are listening to this and you're like, humbly understand that you're meant for something very, very big in this world, it's coming very soon. Spirit is like, you need to get things in order, meaning, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to show up? How are you going to react? How are you going to treat people? How are you going to make decisions, right? What needs to be done in the physical world to prepare? And also, how are you needing to prepare how you react to life? Because I'm talking to you right now, okay? If that's you, I don't know why Spirit's really bringing this up. If that's you, you need to go back and rewatch this very carefully. Higher power. This week, connect in with your higher self and allow your higher self to be the mouthpiece. I just saw 2202 on the timer, so 222. And we also have card 4 and card 12, which 1 plus 2 is 3. It's time to trust. There are things that you are being asked to do in your life that might feel a bit uncomfortable. This could be like starting a workout routine. That shit's uncomfortable. Spirit's like, come to the edge, do it. Put yourself in that uncomfortable position, because it's going to pay off. Some of you that maybe need to cut out some caffeine, that's going to be uncomfortable because your body's so used to doing it. You're going to be like, but I want it, right? Some of you are being asked to let go of relationships that either are really deeply in or have been lingering around. Got to come to the edge. How badly do you want it? Like, truly, because you cannot keep keeping up old cycles in a new reality. And if you want the new reality to drop in, which it will very quickly, some of you this week, it's going to drop in. I'm not lying to you here. Not everybody, but some of you it's going to, or at least like a big, parts of the manifestation are going to start rolling in this week. You gotta come to the edge. It's almost like Spirit is like, I need to know that you're really prepared. You could say you're prepared all day. No, hold on. Spirit's like, wait a minute, Holly, I didn't say that. Spirit is saying, I need you to know that you're really prepared. The divine already knows you're prepared, but until you can recognize that you're prepared, and until you can step into it fully and come to the edge, the divine's not going to release these manifestations. It's not that you've been doing things wrong. It's that you have to recognize yourself and you have to get present. Okay. I'm going to pull one more card and we're going to let this go. By the way, bottom of the deck, we have Master Healing. Some of you are really, really incredible healers, of course, for the collective. But as you may or may not know, to be a master healer for people, you must do it for yourself. And so some of you have been really focusing on healing yourself, becoming the master at being a healer, which is now allowing you to do that for other people. It's happening. It's starting, okay? Whatever this means for you guys, it's starting. Wow, that was a lot of cards. And one of them being the Master Healer coming out. Look at that, Dark Night of the Soul. Yeah. Some of you have been forced to kind of be out, holding your center because you've been healing so much, but you've been learning how to be the Master Healer so that you can show up for the rest of the world, your collective, whatever that looks like. 22 coming out again. We have karmic clearing and initiation by fire. This has been what you've been going through, where it's like, you have been kind of like burning all the things. This week is the spirit, the divine is really approaching you in a way that it's like, I'm letting it all go now for you. You've done enough. I'm doing it. I'm doing the rest. I'm breathing it out of your energetic field, and it will be done through fire. So you might feel like really called to work more with candles this week, to really use, and in the breath, like imagine your breath is like the divine's breath breathing through you, and imagine you like kind of breathing all of this shit out, like the last minute stuff before you step into this next place. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment down below, let me know if you did. Those of you that really know deep within your heart that like you're meant for something really, really big, right? The whole world can't be famous. Okay. That's just the truth. I mean, they could, but like not everybody is meant to even do that type of role, right? And that's okay. Not everybody wants that type of role, and that's even better, right? But those of you that I was talking to, Spirit really needs you to recognize yourself quickly because it is time. Okay. There's something about that. Let's see. I think that that's it. I hope you have the best day. Comment down below. Let me know if this is for you. Again, resources for donation-based courses are below. If you want to book a reading with me, you totally can. I have that link below as well. I do readings for healers. We can talk about your business, your mission, whatever the divine kind of has for you in particular. And yeah, I hope you have the best day, night, whatever it is, and I will chat to you soon.